Hello, everybody. Rick Moxon here, and welcome to the draft preview for the Not So Casual Pokemon Draft League Season 14. So this is just going to be a quick video going over the team that I have drafted and my thoughts behind each of the mons. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with how my draft turned out. It's an interesting draft, I will say. And I'm using some mons that I've never used before, as well as sort of like a play style I've never really used before. For the most part, anyway. I have used something similar to it, but nothing like this. So I'm not going to be going in pick order. I'm just going to be going in point order. So my first pick, I will say though, my first pick was Great Tusk. I had an early pick. And so I was able to grab Great Tusk. I've never used Great Tusk before, and so I thought that it would be something that I could actually try out. I know that Great Tusk is a fantastic mon, and something that I've wanted to use, but I've just never had the chance to. So I'm excited to use Great Tusk. It's got some good options with Rapid Spin to be able to clear the hazards away. It's also got a bulk up set with booster energy, where if you max out your speed and you don't invest in either the attack or defense, your booster energy gives you a boost in speed instead of attack or defense, which is pretty good. And so that's the bulk up set, where you basically get +1 speed, and then you can use a fast bulk up to just get tankier as well as stronger. So it's an interesting set that I've seen used a lot, but it's not one that I've used or it's one that I think I will probably use a good amount. I'm not too sure. It does have some other things that it can make use of, using a defensive item like Assault Vest, but using Rapid Spin to give me my +1 speed instead, and investing a lot more into my attack for more immediate power. So we'll see just how Great Tusk goes. Ground fighting is fantastic. It's always nice to have a ground type as well, especially one as good as Great Tusk. Next up on the team, I've got Tapu Lele. This is another thing that I can do with Great Tusk. I can run a Rapid Spin Great Tusk, and I can run Psychic Seed on it as well to combo with Tapu Lele, get the special defense boost, make being able to set up that Rapid Spin just a little bit easier, maybe even a bulk up set with the Psychic Seed as well. I think Tapu Lele will actually be able to fit very well onto the team, especially just because I've got a very heavy physical attacker in Great Tusk, and I've got a very powerful special attacker in Tapu Lele, so I can hit from both sides with them. I'm excited to use Tapu Lele. I've used it sparingly in Gen 7, because I just thought the Tapu Lele was way too powerful. That I wanted to really try and branch out and use some of the weaker mons, in my opinion, and figure out some ways to play around using some of the weaker mons. So although Tapu Lele, fantastic mon, I'm pretty excited to use it. I think Tapu Lele is going to do great things. Next up, my Mega of choice, or one of my two Megas of choice, Mega Skarmory. Now, I just finished up with the MBA, where I used Mega Skarmory, and I absolutely loved it. But I think focusing more as Mega Skarmory being my main Mega, I can actually play a little bit more into it instead of being I've got some other Mega options that also look good this game, so I don't know which one I'm gonna Mega. This draft, it's very rare that I'm gonna not Mega Skarmory if I bring it. Well, actually, I won't say that. There are actually instances where I will not Mega Skarmory because of my other Mega. Well, actually, I don't know. It's going to be a game-by-game basis. It's really going to depend on a lot of things, so we'll get to that, though, whenever we get to that with the other Mega. I believe that is going to be the last mod that we're going to be talking about, though. But I absolutely love Mega Skarmory. Whenever I did use it, and now being able to use it in a Natdex format where it's got a bunch of other moves that I can make use of, I think Mega Skarmory is going to absolutely tear through a bunch of stuff. So I'm super excited to use it. Can And like, I can at the end of the day still just have an item with Skarmory for like some more defense as well. But I think Mega Skarmory is going to be a fantastic mon, and one that I'm going to be very excited to use a bunch of. Next up, I picked a Alomomola just so that nobody else could pick a Alomomola. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with Alomomola. I am I wouldn't say haphazardly. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Alomomola because, like, anytime that like I've used some Metamons, they have felt like terrible in my hands. While it's like, oh, okay, Alomomola feels completely unkillable and just such an incredible nuisance in my opponent's hands. In my hands, Alomomola is probably gonna look like an actually balanced Pokemon. So I'm a little bit worried that I'm just gonna make Alomomola just fall incredibly short and just absolutely drop the ball with it. But we'll see just how things go with Alomomola. I'm cautiously excited to use it, I guess. I think it pairs very well, though, with Great Tusk and Tapu Lele, being able to heal them up, as well as some of the later mons that you'll end up seeing as well. I think Alomomola's support is going to be very, very nice to have. I just don't know if I'm going to use it correctly. I'm probably going to make Alomomola look like a terrible Pokemon. And you know what? I'm all for it. Next up, though, Araquanid. I absolutely love Araquanid. I wanted some Sticky Web support on the team. I've got a couple rapid spinners on the team as well, so I can make use of being able to spin away some hazards while not having to worry about removing my own. I absolutely love Sticky Web, and with Sticky Web on the team as well, I can maybe play more offensive with Mega Skarmory, Tapu Lele, Great Tusk, not having to worry too much about, like, my opponents outspeeding my mons, especially with Psychic Terrain on my field, especially with Psychic Terrain on my side. Basically shutting down priority, so I don't have to worry about priority, just slowing down their team. I think Araquanid pairs incredibly well right now with the team. And it also just does some really good damage on its own. Water Bubble's a fantastic ability, doubling the power of water moves, reducing the power of fire moves, and just making it so that it can't be burned. Plus, Araquanid has incredible bulk. It can take so many more hits than you would actually think, because it's got like 132 special defense, I think, and like some pretty decent HP, and like 90 defense, I think. So overall, Araquanid, fantastic Pokemon, and I'm super excited to be able to use it alongside the mons that I have drafted, because Hyper Offensive Web is one of my favorite playstyles in all of Pokemon. I love playing Hyper Offense with Sticky Webs. It is so much fun to play, in my opinion, and it just can run over teams. Next up, this was, I believe, my last pick in Zarude. I wanted a grass type, and Zarude was probably one of the better grass types that I saw, even if, like, Grass Dark, kind of a very weakness-ridden typing. Being quad weak to U-turn kind of sucks, but I've got enough ways to deal with U-turn for the most part that I figured, I could deal with Zarude. I'm pretty excited to use Zarude, though. I've always wanted to use Zarude. There's a lot of mythicals around that I've always wanted to use. I have gotten the chance to use Marshadow, thankfully. It was very good, but this is not about Marshadow, this is about Zarude, and I think Zarude is going to be very nice. Now, this isn't like the first time where I was part of the not-so-casual Pokemon Draft League, where I had to fight that Zarude that one week with the Terra. I cannot Terra the Zarude, so it's going to be not as good for that, but it's still got a good bulk upset. It's really fast at 105. Well, really fast back in the day. Nowadays, it's like, oh, hey, if you're like 115, that means you're fast. But Zarude, pretty fast with 105. Really good stats overall. Can pivot, has a really good stab knockoff, bulk up sets. Jungle healing so that, I don't have to worry too much about status. Overall, I think Zarude is going to be a pretty good addition to the team. Next up, my other form of hazard removal, Cyclizar. Cyclizar, I think, is just a very consistent Pokemon. Regenerator, being able to pivot in and out, heal back up a little bit here and there. Very good speed, rapid spin, U-turn. Some okay coverage. Cyclizar is not really going to be doing the damage. But, it also has a knockoff as well, I believe. So that's also going to be nice to have as well. Overall, Cyclizar is just a good, safe Pokemon and can do just a lot of good things for a team. I can have Cyclizar be my spinner, and then I can have Great Tusk be my setup for the bulk up set or whatever. So overall, I think Cyclizar, I don't have too much to say about it, but I do think that it has a good spot on the team. Next up, let's talk about Ninetales. So Ninetales pairs well with Great Tusk, being able to set up its photosynthesis. Now, looking at the team, Ninetales really does not make too much sense. The last two members will make sense for Ninetales. But, being able to pair with Great Tusk at least, pretty nice. It does not really pair with Tapu Lele. Unfortunately, Tapu Lele does not get Weather Ball. It'd be hilarious if it got Weather Ball. I would have loved if it got Weather Ball, but Ninetales, I think is going to be interesting support. Just being able to set up Great Tusk, being able to free up its item slot to be able to use different items as well. So, I could maybe have the Psychic Seed on Great Tusk. This is living in a pipe dream, or would love to see this happen, but it most likely won't happen, is having the Psychic Seed active on Great Tusk with the sun up. That'd be hilarious to see happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen. It'd be hilarious if it did, though, but, I can dream. But, being able to have photosynthesis active with the Psychic Seed, that'd be absolutely hilarious. And make Great Tusk very, very powerful throughout the entirety rest of that sun. But, Ninetales being able to just spread out status. It has its own pivoting move and Baton Pass, being able to just dry pass around, maybe into Great Tusk, maybe into one of my other two Mons. I have not shown off yet. But, let's get into those Mons, I guess. So, I'm excited to use Ninetales, but I'm mostly excited to use Jolteon in the sun. Jolteon does get Weather Ball, so Jolteon can make use of Weather Ball in the sun. Also, just being able to pivot around, and just be a pretty good Pokemon all around. I do like having a fast electric type, and I think Jolteon is a very good fast electric type. I've used Jolteon in the past a bunch, and I'm excited to use it without Terra. See just if it can maybe keep up while I don't have Terra Blast. Weather Ball in the sun. That can be my replacement for Terra Blast, I guess. Overall, though, fast Volt Switch, fast Thunderbolts, fast discharges. Very nice to have. And then, fast Weather Ball in the sun. My last Mon, though, is my second Mega, and the last Mon that we're going to be talking about. Mega Scovillain. So, I just got done using Mega Scovillain, and I thought that it would be fun to use Mega Scovillain again, but in more of a dedicated, this is probably not going to Mega at all. It's very possible that Mega Scovillain does not actually Mega Evolve throughout the entire time, and I just make use of base Scovillain with basically itemless Scovillain. Now, why would I pick up Mega Scovillain and not Scovillain? Well, if we go to the tiers, we see over here that, Mega Scovillain was 5 points. If we go over to, I believe it was... Actually, where was normal Scovillain? Oh, here he is at 8 points. So, picking itemless Scovillain saved me 3 points, and was able to get me a lot more mons in the draft that I felt like would be able to make use of it. I don't have the access of like charcoal, life orb, or whatever for Scovillain in the sun. I do not have that, but I honestly, after using it previously, I really don't think I need it. And if I do want to Mega Evolve Scovillain, there was the one time where I did use it with the Trailblaze. So, being able to growth in the sun and then Trailblaze, so that I can have the +2 attack, +2 special attack, and the +1 speed to be able to just really do a lot of damage with my last 2 moves. So probably like Flamethrower, Giga Drain, or like whatever I feel like using last. So I think it's going to be an interesting team, but I do have one more thing to show off. Over here, we got people who run the Not So Casual Pokemon Draft League wrote a sort of just brief synopsis about what they thought of my team. And for the most part, I pretty much agree with everything that they said here. But I'm going to leave it up here just for a moment for people to read. But around here, it did talk about how words, how Mega Skarmory is one of those megas that can still contribute itemless version and its base form. And then I picked up Mega Scovillain. But it also does talk about how the odd pick here is Ninetales. Find that more on dedicated Sun teams. I do have the Protosynthesis with Tusk. And I can do really good damage with Mega Scovillain. Or I can just make use of the Chlorophyll and base Scovillain. So, before going Mega, if I want to do that. So we'll see just how things end up going. I'm relatively excited for how the draft is going to go through. I'm relatively excited for the mons that I picked. I picked a lot of mons that I've really not used much. Overall, though, I'm excited for the draft. So I don't know how many times I've said excited throughout this video. There's your drinking game, I guess, if you want to rewatch the video and take a shot every time I said excited. I'm sorry. Do water, don't do alcohol. But either way, that's my draft rundown. Thank you so very much for watching. We'll see just how things end up going. And I guess, last thing I can say is I hope that you all have yourselves a fantastic day.